when we're perfect. When does perfection happen, ladies? It doesn't. So this is a really critical study. And this could be, and Tara has said this, Tara at Big, that women have 2 emotional centers in our brains and men have 1. So we may overthink and emotionalize and process things in a way different way, which is getting us the results that we get. Interesting, isn't it?
It's like men always find us so right, and we find something wrong about us.
Yeah.
Like, oh, 9, oh, that one, yeah.
Oh,
And
goodness.
I see it every day
You
with the
see
painting
it.
sessions in our studio.
Oh.
90% of my clients are women. The
Yeah.
10% that come, if they don't know how to paint, their painting is crappy, they don't care. They're like, this is awesome. I'm awesome. We're going to hang it on the mantle. I'm going to sell it on eBay. And they paint beautiful, and they're like, oh, but I have this line over here. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Women are their own challenge all the
We
time.
are. We can definitely be our own worst critic, and we're awesome. So when are we going to embrace this and claim our seat at the table? So here's more. You know this already. Men are leaders. They assume the sale. I mean, I reported to a lot of guys, and I would have never gone into some of those meetings the way they were. They're like, okay, who's this client again? Oh, okay, so tell me again, what is the goal? I'm like, are you kidding me? I was up half the night preparing for this. Just on the fly. Or they say, okay, well, we're not gonna do that. This is what we're gonna do. What do you mean you're changing this at the last minute? So they can be really loose about things, right? Women are nice. So we're nurturers, right? Worker bees. How many times, corporate people, have you worked so late that they came in the next morning and said, did you go home? Did you eat? Did you sleep? Because you're there again in the morning. And thinking that by being that worker bee that we're going to get noticed and promoted, sometimes.
And then you bring bagels and breakfast for everybody because you're like, oh, we want to make sure they eat in the morning.
Yes.
Men don't do that.
So sometimes when we're selling and negotiating, we want people to leave the table feeling good. Do men worry about that? They get the job done. Interesting, right?
Isn't there the perception that if you don't do that, you're perceived, there's a difference of perception of women and men too?
Yes.
You know, there's that whole flip side of that.
Oh, sure. And if a woman is a little more aggressive and assertive, she is something else.
Exactly.
And that ain't right.
No.
That ain't right.
We have to just break it.
Break it.
Yeah.
Can we be nice and can we be assertive and
Yes.
professional
Yes.
and kick butt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Heck
Yes.
yes.
That's the truth.
So we don't want to keep underestimating our abilities, but this is what I see out there. And with most of my clients, whom I love dearly, they tend to be more heart-centered. So there is a lot of this persona and personality going on, right? Okay. We have also adopted a way of communication that just doesn't serve us. And we are going to really dig deeply into that. And this happens a lot when we're selling or negotiating because we are not so confident. And so that's when those little things come out, like, I just ran the numbers this morning, or apologizing, but we'll get there. There is a book called The Confidence Code. Anybody heard of that book? Hey, it is awesome. Pick it up, please, read it. The 2 women who wrote this book are reporters. They are named Katty Kay and Claire Shipman. And what they noticed over the years that they were going out and doing investigative reporting were some patterns with women in our communication. The gap that they figured out was its confidence. And we don't do something because we don't think we can. And this, again, shows up in sales, in negotiating, and when we're seeking consensus. Amazing book. Please get
Can
that
I,
book.
just real quick?
Yes.
Part of Mustang Sally's, now our November 11th workshop
Yes.
is actually on that book. We're gonna have great
Oh, my
speakers and a
goodness.
panel specifically about the confidence code. They're great.
Oh,
They're not coming in,
Yes.
but I have great speakers who are working on that. Actually, I just talked to Tara about that yesterday.
Wonderful.
So we're gonna do a panel on that and do the quiz and talk about the confidence code that fits into Mustang Sally's.
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Just happened to be a nice segue.
Okay, good. It is a perfect segue. So what does all of this have to do with selling that styles or preferences. Well, it shows up when we have to sell something, and frankly, nothing tests our confidence like having to get out there and sell something or sell ourselves. Oh my goodness. I've been a corporate staff person for more than 30 years. I launched my business 14 months ago when I was kicked out. And all of a sudden now it's all about me. Oh, I could sell insurance till the cows come home, right? You want me to double that book of business? Oh, I'll double it. I'll triple it. You want me to make friends with those brokers? Oh, I'll do that. When it's Casey Carpenter Sales Breakthrough Coach Inc., ooh, different story. And these are all new skills that I'm learning, how to put myself out there more, network, etc. So why are we sometimes avoiding sales? Well, because we don't know what to say or how to say it. We get tripped up in the verbiage and getting nervous that we're going to say the wrong thing. Maybe because we feel rejected. Some people don't like to hear no. Some people love to hear no. So I've gotten two schools on that. Some people say, tell me no right up front so I can be on my way. And some say, oh, I just don't want them to say no. Assuming that you know what they will say also can get in the way. Oh, you know what, I got this. I know what they're going to say. And then you get thrown a curveball and you don't know what to do. Many of my clients say it just doesn't feel natural to me to ask for, money or this kind of fee. It just doesn't feel right. I feel it in my body. I'm uncomfortable. I'm squirming. Some people just don't know where they are in the process. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to develop sales or even track and systematize it. And that's something that I also help support. I spoke with a lady last week. She said, it's taken me too darn long, which was a comparing thing. Oh, all the other people in my direct sales company are this, and I'm here. And I'm wondering what's wrong with me. So I just don't like doing it. I feel exposed.
Can I add, it's interesting coming from this, from the car side.
Yeah.
The biggest issue I find, I know a ton of confident women, but they always, but men and women, they always come into the car sales process with their dukes up, okay? It's always a battle. And the thing that we're trying to talk about in Mustang Sally is that it doesn't have to be a battle. And I think what happens is women feel that if they don't know everything about a subject, they know nothing, therefore cars is out of their realm, and that's a sticking point. But what I'm seeing, and you're hitting upon this too, is it's this, we feel like we can't be in that arena because we're not confident and all that. And yet, when we are in that very confident woman goes in there often with the dukes up. So it's almost like, where's the happy medium? You don't have to come in there with the dukes up to show that you're confident. To show it, you have to just be it.
Yeah. Yes. So it sounds to me as though we're really still struggling to find our place, like where to be, how to be. And it's such a personal thing too, isn't it, Jen? I was never an aggressive person. I will say that I'm happy I've just developed a kind of healthy assertiveness. It didn't come naturally to me. I admire women who can just speak up for it. Excuse me, I ordered this omelet in a certain way. I didn't want the cheese. Could you please take it and remove the cheese or whatever? And just, I used to just eat it. So, I think we've made our point here, right? Let's move on. Okay, so when you think about how to define a successful salesperson, here is definitely a concept I want to make sure that I leave you with today. It is that selling is service. That's really what we're doing. And it's a service mindset that is attractive. You pull people into your space rather than push them away with that kind of salesy, stereotypical type of behavior. You're helping people succeed. Your approach is customized. You're listening. It's a conversation. Quite frankly, it is awesome. You're a business advisor. You solve problems. They call you first, rather than all of that other stuff on the right-hand side. So I love to say that sales is service. I was speaking to a women's group out in Arizona 2 weeks ago, and this for them was like light bulbs. They were like, wow, so I can really put this on and adjust whatever's been in my mind and go out there and now really feel that I'm serving some people. And this helps for those of us who are more sensitive, more heart-centered. You're serving, you're helping them. And to not do it, to not offer your solution when they have a problem and you have the answer, is a disservice. You're not helping them. Yeah.
I think another way you could say it too is that you don't give either yourself nor your client or your whoever you're serving enough respect. The respect. I think that's a really
Absolutely.
You
It's
know.
a respect thing, it's a reciprocality. Gita, how are we doing on time?
You have 15 minutes.
Okay, good. So I am sending around something called your sales comfort zone, and I referenced it earlier. It is something that I came up with in terms of working with clients and hearing some of the things that they've struggled with. I said, hey, wow, let me put this together and make a little quick assessment. So as you're receiving this, what it is, I'll describe it. Down the left-hand side are 5 different elements of sales. For example, knowing what to say and how to say it. Across the top, vertically, are the scales where you're going to rate yourself. This is for you. You don't have to share it with anybody else, so don't worry about that. So 1 would be, I'm not comfortable with this. I avoid it as much as possible. And 4 is expert. I am so comfortable and I can teach others. In fact, you can come up here and facilitate the rest of this workshop with me. So take a moment, please. This shouldn't take you long. I think what I'm going to have you do in the interest of time is just, never mind, just yeah, go ahead and do it. So if you are rating yourself a 1, you're going to put 1 beside the sales situation, and each of these only has 1 answer. So I'm going to be quiet for a moment. I messed that up. Did everybody understand what?
Awesome.
You got it.
Great.
Beautiful. Thank you.
It's hard, but it's great.
So I'll give you 30 seconds. I'll take a drink of water.
It's very humbling.
I have heard that feedback, yeah.
I mean, I can, like you, I sold, built, birthed, everybody else but me.
Yeah.
So to do this,
Oh.
it's good to be honest.
Mhm. And you deserve to build and birth what
Yeah.
you do too.
Yeah.
And what's so cool is if you did it before for someone else,
Yeah,
you can do it
Yeah.
now for you. It just might take a mind shift,
Yeah.
adjustment. Mm-hmm.
certainly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. How about another 10 seconds and we'll come back together? You're laughing.
I'm doing it like between the lines.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, so let's come on back. So, did anybody feel that they rated a 3 or a 4 on any of these? And again, this is not to make you feel badly, but maybe like really kind of raise the awareness. Yeah, Denise. Oh, you did. Yeah.
When I sell, when I'm actually selling,
Yes.
I'm at my best.
You're at your best. Can I just ask a sidebar question? How do you get to be your best when you're selling? How do you do that?
It just flows. I have, I think it's the experience. I also came from corporate America and I sold for 20 years. When I'm selling the product that's not me, to both of your points, it's easy for me to sell
Yeah.
a product. When I'm selling an idea or a opportunity,
Yes.
it's not as easy for me.
Interesting.
The more concrete the thing I'm selling, the easier it is to sell.
Isn't that interesting? Okay. Mita, you know,